Death is scary to most, but to an assassin, it is just business as usual. They make a living taking lives, and they do it without thought. Whether it is a king or a criminal, they do not discriminate. To them, it is just another target. It is just another payday. But never has there been an assassin that dared to take on the divine. In a land far to the east, there was a kingdom that was said to have touched the heavens, and there lived a mythical assassin that was said to have slayed gods for a living. Hello everybody, I am the War Chariot, and welcome to the second installment of my Dark Souls 3 PvP build series. I give you the Lurid Assassin. This is going to be my Dexterity build, or my Dexterity / Bleed build. It is a Dex build, but I do have the Bleed component to it, along with the Hollowing, which helps boost overall Bleed damage without hurting Dexterity damage really at all. And I believe in Dark Souls 3, with the way the current meta is and the current patch, that if you're going to do a Dex build, it only benefits you to add the Bleed and Hollowing on it, because it makes the build hit a lot harder and it gives it a much higher potential ceiling. Now, I know a lot of you will probably mention the Onikari and Ubudachi and why I am not using it in this build, and the reason is that I've seen so many Bleed builds, Dex builds, or Bleed Dex Hollow builds, whatever you want to call it, using that weapon, that it was just going to be mundane to do another one. And I figured instead of that, I would give you guys something else to work off of in case you too were sick of seeing it. And I really didn't just want to copy everyone else and just be like, okay, Onikari Ubudachi, Bleed, swing, yeah. You can use the washing pole and the Uchikatana as well. I wanted to make it a little different. This build still hits just as hard as the Onikari and Ubudachi, sometimes harder in certain instances. And with the spammability of this build, you can still get that Bleed proxy out pretty well and pretty quick, as long as you are comfortable using the build and you know what you are doing. So, let's get into it. To start things off, we'll show you the weapons. We have the Hollow Washing Pole plus 10, the Hollow Great Scythe plus 10, the Notched Whip plus 10, the Hollow Black Blade plus 10, and the Painted Guardian's Curved Sword plus 10. To go over the armor, strictly fashion, although some of the pieces will provide you with some physical protection. We have the Thief Mask, the Undead Legion Armor, the Undead Legion Gauntlets, and Lorian's Leggings. For rings, we have Chloranthy to boost stamina, Life Ring to give us a little extra HP, Hovel's Ring to help with the weight, and the Hunter's Ring to boost our dex. The Covenant doesn't really matter, I just like to be in Rosaria's fingers so I can be summoned as a Red Phantom. And we have our Karthus Rouge to boost our Bleed stat. Now, to go over the Hollowing real quick, this build is a 120 build originally. Its Dexterity stat was 41 and its Luck stat was 40. But once you put Hollowing on 3 of your weapons and 1 is in the offhand, it will boost your Luck by 10, for me making it go from 40 to 50. And the reason for that is Bleed scales with luck, so the higher your luck is, the more damage your bleed does, and the quicker you can get that bleed meter to go off and do huge chunks of damage to your opponent. So that is the reason behind that. And it also does not affect physical damage really at all. So with this, you get high physical damage with quick dex weapons. Also, high luck and hollow will result in huge bleed. And when you combo the big physical with the big bleed, it hits hard. So that is why we have hollowing. Now, obviously down here we had that Hunter's Ring boosting our dex from 41 to 46. So if you want to think of it, is our build actually being a 135 because of the 10 boost from the hollow and the 5 from the ring. So that is a cool way, I guess, you could jack your build up, jack the stat up even more without actually having to level. Because at this stage in the game, leveling costs a lot of souls, and 15 levels means quite a bit of farming, which I did not want to have to do. To quickly go over the stats before we get into our matches, this is a 120 build. It is pretty median, pretty in the middle for the meta right now. 120 build's pretty common. The hollowing is 99. For the hollow build to work, you need to have at least 16. So it's somewhere between like 16 and 20 hollowing, I believe. I wasn't sure of the exact stat, but it's somewhere in there. Very easy to get once you do Yol's quest. You just die a few times, and you can easily get up to like 30, 40 hollowing, so that's no problem. But you do need that for the hollowing to work on the weapons. You also will need the profaned coal to imbue weapons with hollow. So if you're wondering why you can't, it's probably because you don't have the coal yet, or you need the hollowing. Anyway, to get into the actual stats here, 30 vigor and 30 endurance to ensure that your health pool and endurance pool are large enough so that you can jump around with the katanas and scythes and swing a lot and not drain your endurance completely and still be able to dodge roll. And the vigor so you can take trades with big weapons and not just get one shot. For the strength, 18 just so we can wield the katanas. That was the min requirement for that. The dexterity was at 41, obviously boosted up by 5 because of the Hunter's Ring. That is to ensure high physical damage through the dexterity scaling that all these weapons have. And then we have 50 luck, originally 40, but the hollowing boosted it to 50. That, obviously, as I said before, helps with the bleed. And the most critical stats, if you were trying to do this at a lower level, I would say would be dex and luck. You want to get those as high as you can, and then obviously still save a little bit for vigor and endurance. The strength stat depends on what katanas you're using, or if you're using any at all. So that is pretty much the stat lineup and the critical stats. So let's get into some matches. Alright, getting into our first world. Coming in with the Great Scythe and the Black Blade. Gonna be kicking things off with that combo, and then as needed, we will be switching up to any of our other weapons. For example, if we need to chase someone down and poke him with a little bit of health left, we just run in with our washing pole and finish him off. Alright, first match starting here. Looks like he's got a Karthus curved greatsword. See what we can do with it. That phantom range, gotta watch out for. Definitely gotta watch out for that range. Let's go two-man mode. Surprise little jump attack there. There we go. Now let's whip out this bad boy. Let's sauced up. Two-hand mode. Max damage output. He likes the parry. Finish him off. GG, sir. That was a good match. Put up a good fight. And I almost went down another swing or two and I would have been done myself. Alright, let's see if we can begin match 2 right away here. Give him a little etiquette. And we will start with the katana. I'll rouge it up a bit. Why not? This time, offhand. Painted Guardian Sword. Looks like he also has a washing pole. Show him a parry there. There we go. Show him a little run. Parry. Jump attack, keep the moves fresh. Little spam, little spam. Get out of there quick. There we go. You gotta be quick with the katana. Had to get in and out, was showing a bit of parrying. I don't really intend to parry too much with that, although it is capable of it. I was just kind of showing him it to let him know that it is there. And don't get too 1R spammy because I could cut you with it and that would suck for you. Alright, what does he got? Something small. Okay, looks like he's got some type of curved sword. Gotta watch out for his speed. Keeping his distance. Alright, now he pulls out his real weapon. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. That's your real weapon. There you go. How's that for a real weapon? Alright, vertebra shackle, not bad. Okay, now we will start again with the Black Blade Katana. We have one thing of rouge left. Obviously, if I run out of rouge and keep going, we will. I mean, running out of rouge is unfortunately something that happens because in Dark Souls 3, you're only allowed to have a certain amount of items on you, which is a thing I really wish they would just take out of the game because it does suck. Show him our range. He's got some bolts. I don't like bolts. Let's try and cut him a bit with our sight. Try and get some jumps in there. There we go. That's the oldest trick in the book, my friend. There we go. And there we go. Alright, coming into our next world here. Gonna be going Katana, Painted Guardian Curve Sword start. Me and you? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. There we go. There we go. Show him it. That's good. There we go. That was pretty easy. That guy didn't seem to get a lot of defense. That is going to bring an end to the commentated matches. So now sit back and enjoy the montage of my Dex Bleed build showcase.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit.
Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for the PvP in this video. We're just going to give you one last look at the build. You can see we got our washing pole, our great scythe, our notched whip, our black blade, and our painted guardian's curved sword, all plus 10 to maximize the physical damage output through the dex scaling. We have our armor here, purely fashion. The rings obviously benefit in their own ways. And then the Carthus Rouge to help the bleed of the build go up even higher. For the stats, it is a 120 build, a nice mid-level meta build for what the meta is right now, currently around 120, 130. Hollowing at least 20 so you can get the hollowing to work on the weapons. Mine was 99. No problem once you do the thing with Yol. For key stats, we have the Dex at 46 and the Luck at 50. And then obviously Vigor and Endurance, a nice 30-30 soft cap, so that we can have enough health and stamina to hang with bigger builds that are using bigger, harder hitting weapons. And then the 18 strength just so we can wield both our washing pole and our black blade efficiently. That is pretty much it. That is the entire build, explained a little bit in the beginning and a little bit here at the end. Any comments or questions, just leave in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. One more thing before we wrap it up. I did lose a couple of matches. It wasn't flawless. If the video makes it seem like that, that is not how it was. There was a couple matches where I went in and I lost, but there was also a couple matches where I went in and it was just like 6 people fighting each other, or even one match the guy had pulled one of the giants all the way over to the arena somehow, and everybody was just like messing around with him. So I decided to cut all that stuff out just to make the video cleaner and shorter, and so you guys could focus on how the build is supposed to work and function. So that is going to do it for now, guys. Plenty more build videos in the future to come. I really do enjoy making these a lot. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of my Dark Souls 3 PvP build series.